Luther penned a new text, an address to the Christian nobility of the German nation. With this little pamphlet, Luther would strike a devastating blow at both Pope and Church. His masterstroke was to direct it not at the clerics and clergy, but at the secular rulers of Germany.
This address to the German nobility suggests that Luther is beginning to see political reality. He's understood that if he's to purify the Church, he really has to have the cooperation of those who are in power.
In Luther's time, Germany was a patchwork of tiny provinces. Each province was governed by its own local ruler, but they were also held under the overall dominion of the Holy Roman Empire. And individually, these fragmented states did not have the strength to stand up to Rome's ever-increasing financial demands.
There was growing resentment inside Germany, and this treatise really sets out to say to those in power in Germany, look, this has got to stop.
Luther painted a vivid picture of the financial drain that was Rome.
German money, in violation of nature, flies over the Alps.
He talks about the self-indulgence of the papacy, the numbers of secretaries, thousands of secretaries that the Pope has, the way in which the Pope rides around the city with a veritable train of attendants. And all of this is to suggest that that is what German money is being used for.
Luther, in no uncertain terms, was now arguing that the powers of Germany should stand up to Rome and the Pope.
It seems to me that the only remedy remaining is for the emperor, the kings and princes to gird themselves with force of arms to attack these pests of the world and fight them, not with words, but with steel.
It was a truly radical agenda. Luther was arguing that not just the clergy, but every German had a stake in their church. But Luther's revolutionary work would have a far more immediate consequence. It would now save him from being handed over to the church for trial and execution. The region of Saxony where Luther lived was ruled by a man named Frederick the Wise. It was Frederick who had founded the University of Wittenberg, where Luther now taught. Frederick began to quietly protect this loudmouth theologian that lay under his rule, refusing to simply hand him over to the agents of the Pope.
The motives of Friedrich the Wise are something of a mystery. Partly, I think there is a sort of pride about Frederick of Saxony over Luther. He is proud of his learned, famous theologian, the man who is attracting people to his new little university in Wittenberg. Luther's bringing a lot of status and recognition. May not be quite the kind of recognition he's comfortable with, but he is making Wittenberg to be taken seriously.
Frederick had also quickly recognized the implications of Luther's latest work.
Frederick and his immediate antecedents had been trying to limit the power of the church. Now, Frederick could hear the message of the address to the German nobility and say, this is right. There's a higher principle involved here. I'm not just trying to restrict the funds that are flowing out to Germany because I'm a greedy man. There are higher ideals involved here.
But the address to the Christian nobility was attracting attention in even higher circles. In 1520, Frederick received a visit from the most powerful man in Europe, the Holy Roman Emperor Charles V. Charles had only just come to power, but he was already finding Luther a concern.
Charles is a devout Catholic. He really intends to preserve the Catholic faith. He is a champion, in some sense, of the papacy, but he's only 19 years old at the time he's elected Holy Roman Emperor. He's really in over his head, and he wants to keep the Luther issue from spinning out of control.
Frederick pulled off a diplomatic coup. He convinced Charles that Luther should not be simply handed over to the agents of the Church. Instead, he should be allowed to argue his case before Charles himself, at his next parliament, or Diet, in the German city of Worms. It was a crucial moment. Frederick had won Luther the chance to present his case at one of the most influential gatherings in Europe. And Luther would not waste this opportunity.